Now listen, I'm always going to be the first one to point out the plot in an episode like The New Gate. I mean, our boy got a face full of plot, let's not kid ourselves. But you know, jokes aside, most of the what you think are going to be the generic kind of run-of-the-mill isekai fantasy, reincarnated, all those types of stuff, they all pretty much feel the same at the end of the day, just with a slight detour to the intro. A lot of them are held together by like something pretty shallow, like, oh, the production is just really, really good to look at. Characters are surface level, so that's why we watch it. Because, hey, they make big explosions go brr and real pretty, so we kind of tolerate the nonsense. And then there's other shows where the story's just so good that of course we watch it. The New Gate's a very interesting show, because in all honesty, the production is mid. Like, this isn't really that good of a produced show. Like, that well of a produced show, I mean. Sometimes has moments where I'm like, oh, that looked pretty good. The color palette, pretty flat, not really anything to write home about. The character models are fun, but in all honesty, half the time their eyes are so large and bug-eyed that it's a little distracting. The voice actors are good. The music is really good, but the visuals they leave a lot to be desired. And the story, really, the story's more on a personal side, so it kind of gets lumped into the characters, but the characters are so fun that I watch these episodes, and when I think about the episodes when they're all said and done, do I think I really experienced the craziest episode? Not really. I'm like, oh, that was kind of a fun slice of life episode. But why does it feel like 6 minutes, 8 minutes max? Because here's the thing. While there might be elements of the New Gate that remind us of some of the more shallow aspects to this genre and this industry in general, at the end of the day, no one is watching New Gate for the visuals. No one is watching New Gate because every other moment Shin gets a face full of titties. We watch New Gate because the character interactions are generally so fun and the farthest thing away from trash. This man, I expected to be one of my least favorite MCs of the season. And somehow, he's the MC who's actually kind of surprising me the most this season. This is brilliant. And I think this is an episode that really reinforces why we watch New Gate, which a lot of these isekai can't say. Full live reactions over on Patreon, though. If you want to see my full uncut thought to any of these wonderful episodes, it's going to be over there exclusively. So, actually, a lot happened in terms of simple moments, but nothing like truly explosive happened as a larger one. So, we do end up moving the shop, right? So it's kind of cool. I figured it would be a miniature version, or it would be like, it would just be in his inventory. Turns out, it's not a miniature version of the home, it's actually like an amulet or like a piece of jewelry after he moves it. It's kind of funny though, because if there is robbers in this world and he actually has it like visible, it's not inside like an inventory bag. Could you imagine having to explain to Schnee that you lost their place of business that she defended for God knows how many years, and he got robbed by some casual cat burglar or something? That'd be so funny. But the thing I really like is a thing that's constantly been something I brought up. It's how they handled the idea of the isekai. So game got cleared, right? He was waiting, make sure everyone logged out, door open, and then he got thrown 500 or so years into the future. But now it's no longer a game, everything became alive. So there's a lot about him that he has access to things that, like, he basically got inflated. Like, he has mad money, mad special... Like, this is the type of guy who would bust out Excalibur to slice a loaf of bread and just say, hey, it's my butter knife, and just deal with it. Because there's this building, in the context of this world, that no one can break into. You can't attack it, you can't break... It's like, if they let you in, you could go in. This is a known thing in their world, and casually it disappeared. And they're scratching their heads saying, what in the hell? Because think about it. If you have something that impenetrable and it casually ups and disappears, who the hell is going to assume some man came back from 500 years ago to take his shot back? Not a single damn person. You rewind 2 episodes back, give or take, when the knights found the, like, giant crater slash in the earth and they found the sword, like, what type of blacksmith could do this? Our boy has no idea that in the background, all of his little moments are actually spicing it up to the point that people are like, is the second coming of a demon lord here? Is there a hero we need on Earth? They have no idea. They just know something extreme and insane is happening. And it's funnier the longer you think of it, because Shin has no damn idea what he's doing. I did have some people tell me that this isn't a harem and that, like, it is like a one-on-one romance. And while that could be true, I think we just gotta accept that even if it's not technically a harem, this episode baits you with harem bait. And I don't even mind it. I find it funny. Whether it's the guild woman who's seemed a little spicy that he was with a young beauty, and between her, she had a couple of moments. Listen, I understand you can make the argument, well, you know, Schnee back in the day, she did the whole chess thing, and it's like, sure, but it ain't the same. And she seems to get, you know, from the hand-holding scene, I mean, she got some feelings. Maybe eventually she'll find someone else and he'll just navigate away from that. I don't know. But either way, there's a couple of people who seem to get a little jealous, a little more spicy. But, you know, when a show's actually pretty damn good like this, it doesn't feel as generic as it would be in a lot of these shows. Though I would get it if some people do roll their eyes at those types of moments. But honestly, man, like, the only thing that really confuses me, and I'm willing to wait to see, because they did mention it last week. He said, I think it was like, Schnee was talking to him, and he's like, okay, so he's not in any immediate danger, so I don't have to rush to get him, and she said correct. All we know, though, is that his friend that he's supposed to meet up with, who's held on for so many more years than he should have lived, is on his deathbed. Like, he's not gonna live for another year, more than likely. So it is surprising to me that he's not rushing to see him, because I feel like if I was put in Shin's shoes, I would make that my first priority. But it is what it is. Maybe, you know, he had to say his goodbyes, because I guess it does work. Like, he doesn't know how long he'll be gone for. He wants to make sure everything's resolved, sure. But it does feel a little weird to me. Maybe I'm the odd one out here, but that's like the one thing when it comes to the writing that I'm kind of scratching my head with. I'm like, wouldn't you want to prioritize the guy who's already past where he should live for his species? Like, wouldn't you want to rush there? But that's just me. Like I said, like, this show's nothing to write home about visually, but at the end of the day, it's not god-awful. Like, it's not like complete slideshow. Like, sometimes when characters are running forward, it does just kind of feel like they're being pushed forward. There's not a lot going on. But I love the fact that when the bandits are jumping everyone, and, you know, if I had a nickel for every time my main character kind of loses it and looks like he's about to cut fools left and right, I might only have a couple of nickels, but it's kind of odd it happened a couple of times this past week in anime. I mean, between level 2 super cheat powers and now this one, man, like, these characters be getting a little spicy when they think their women are getting hurt, man. Or at least disrespected in this case. But I wasn't expecting Tiara to actually be good with, like, she did say that she could use a bow and a sword, but I was expecting she'd be sloppy with her bow. She was shooting, not only shooting fools the others couldn't see, but doing so with pinpoint accuracy, and he was slicing and dicing. He was not messing around. But yeah, we did cool him off. It's, you know, some people like a little bucket of water thrown on them to cool off. Other people like some double Ds. I'd take option 2 myself. I'm definitely having a lot of fun with this one. It continuously surprises me. I think, man, this should be a whatever show, but what started off as, I thought, complete and utter junk food, but I was fine to consume because everyone likes junk food, at least a little bit in their day-to-day, has turned out to be way better than I first gave credit to, and I think it's only going to get better. And it's funnier the longer you think that Shin is continuously building this insane plotline in the background and has no idea. Let me know what you thought, though, down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell so you know if I want to upload more, and like I mentioned, you got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today, we have Mauve, Curso, Omar, Jay Vordy, Cephalin Coda, Connor Brown, and GR Valis. So I appreciate the support, everyone, and please take care and have a good one.